Welcome everyone, namaste. Thank you for joining this session. Today we are working on legs and we are going to start in a child's pose position, meaning that we are going to be seated back towards the heels with the knees wide. They are almost touching the edges of my mat. If you have any sensitivities going on in your knees, you can pad under your knees. You can put a blanket in between the butts of your legs and push it all the way to the creases of your knees. That will give you extra space, and then you sit back down. And if this doesn't work at all, you can come onto your back and just hug your knees into your chest. The first thing that we are doing today is just to lengthen the sides of the body, walking the hands towards the top of the mat. Give yourself a moment here to draw your abdomen up towards the back of your body. And then with your finger pads pushing down and forward, see if you can lengthen those lumbar muscles and send the sitting bones or your bottom towards your heels. Any amount that you can do that works. Then release the forehead and then rest the hands, the palms down. And this is an opportunity to welcome yourself to the practice. Maybe you can do that by inhaling deeply through the nose. A big exhale. And using one more breathing cycle here to let the forehead drop a little deeper, to let your leg bones also become a little heavier, more pounded into the floor. Releasing tension or maybe lots of thoughts in your head. So we can empty ourselves a little bit before we enter the practice. Relaxing the skin in your face. Then slowly lift your trunk, walk your hands back towards your knees and keeping the same shape unless your knees are sensitive or you cannot sit like this. Then you will cross your legs in front of you and take a cross leg position. Hands on top of your knees. We are going to use it to do a few undulations. Inhaling, we pull with the hands into the knees so we can arch the spine, send the shoulders back and lift the throat and the chin a little. With the exhale, we draw the navel in. We are still pulling with the hands into the knees, but we are rounding in the upper back and bringing the chin down. Again, we inhale for one more like this. Shoulder blades coming into one another. Exhaling, rounding. I'm adding 3 more, and this time we are going to mobilize the hands as well. So as I'm inhaling, you can see how we are sliding the hands towards the pelvis, bringing the elbows back. And then with the exhale, slide the hands down, draw the belly button in. And again, inhaling, shoulder blades down your back, lifting the heart center, exhaling. Last one, we inhale and exhale. Good. We come back towards a neutral position, and now the inner thighs come towards one another. So now my knees are touching. Again, if this is too much, you just sit cross-legged and you avoid this seat, right? This is working the legs. That's why I'm starting this way. And we are working legs today. So now for 3 repetitions, we are going to inhale, send the arms up overhead. And with the exhale, twist to your right, extend the arms out to the sides. Now we inhale, we come back up. We switch it to the left exhale. Again, inhaling, exhaling to the right, inhaling, exhaling left. One more time, inhaling, over to the right, keeping the head above your spine. Last one, we go towards the left, exhaling. We take that last repetition. Good, let's take one more. Inhaling, coming back towards the center. And this time with the exhale, bring the arms to the sides and lean forward into a tabletop. From here, if you need, tap your legs, your shins, wiggle a little. If you were seated in the manner that I was showing, it can be a little challenging or a little intense, so you can feel a little bit of tingling through the legs, okay? Then from here, what we are going to do is work the legs, right? So we turn the belly up, we lengthen through the crown of the head, and we extend the right leg up and back. My leg is parallel to the floor, right? So that's what we want. We don't want to lift the leg so far up that it's arching the lower back, at least for now. Keep the toes pointing down, push through the heel, and take a moment here. Then, without touching down, right knee is going to come towards the chest. Push the floor, keep lengthening through the spine, and then send the right knee out to the 3 o'clock, let's say, so right to the side. Then you turn the knee and you send it back towards the back of your room. And then with your right foot, push up like if you want to push the ceiling. Good, then bring the right knee back towards the chest and send it down to the floor. Good, wiggle the hips a little and we'll switch sides, toning the abdomen, lengthening the spine. We extend the left leg up and back. With the toes pointing down, we first firm the muscles of the leg, pushing through the heel, lengthening through the spine. We are pushing the floor right with the hands, so we are not collapsing in the front of the body, the top area. Good, and then from there, bend the knee and bring it towards the chest. Push the floor. Then you're going to send the knee towards the 9 o'clock. So now we are going to the left. Then slowly turn the knee down and send the leg back. And with the foot, you push up towards the ceiling, like if you want to put a footprint towards the skies. And then you bring the knee back towards the chest. And you set that knee down and wiggle a little bit through the hips. Good, we're going to repeat this a little faster. So here we go, lifting the belly, lengthening the spine, send the right leg up and back, bend the knee, bring it towards the chest, then out to the side, turning the knee, you go back, push up towards the ceiling, bring the knee towards the chest, bring it back down. Second side, left leg goes up and back, push through the heel, tone the belly, bend the knee, bring it towards the chest, open it up to the left, turn the knee, go back, push up towards the ceiling, knee to chest, we come back and wiggle there again. Nice. From here, we're going to move the knees a few inches back, widen your feet, curl the toes under. I'm almost touching the edges of the mat, and I'm looking at the hands, and I'm also going to, as I look at them, invite you to turn the finger pads a little bit out towards the sides of your mat to give a little bit more space in the chest. From there, push the floor, lift your knees until they are parallel to the floor. We are not going up just yet. And do a little bit of wiggling with the legs side to side. So my knees are going to the left and to the right, or right and left, just a few times. And then from there, start pushing the floor a little more, toning the muscles in your legs. We are starting to straighten the legs into the downward facing dog, right? That we know and we do many times. So as you push through the heels of your hands and the knuckles of your forefingers, grip the mat also with your finger pads and push the mat down and away from you. So the hip creases become a little taller and you feel that stretch, the elongation through the spine. Wiggle the hip side to side a little. And then front ribs move in, lift both your heels, turn them over to your right, set the feet down, and then push the floor again, trying to create that hip area more flexed, right? So we are pushing the sitting bones up and back and stretching the left side a little more. We are also opening the backs of the legs. Then we lift both heels back towards being at the center, and then we spin the heels over to the left. Same idea as before, we push the floor away, and we are opening that right side a little more. Drop the head, come back to center. Okay, let's keep working here. Draw the navel in. Let's come into plank. And with the exhale, you go back to down dog and you tap with your right hand, your left foot. Then we come back, inhaling into plank. We exhale, left hand taps the right foot, anywhere that you can touch. Again, inhale, plank. Exhale, tap. Inhale, plank. Exhale, tap. One more each side. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Good. Let's go back to plank. And this time push back into a down dog. You can bring the feet a little closer to one another if you want. From here, look at your hands and walk them back towards the feet. Widen your feet again. You can even have your toes a tiny bit out towards the sides. Bend your knees. It's almost like a squat. And we're going to sit low there, reaching forward through the spine, and walk or crawl your fingertips a little further away from you here. Okay, so we're working the legs a lot. Let the sitting bones drop and become heavy as you lift your abdomen. Take a nice breath in and out. Now lift the chin and open the chest, meaning that the shoulders are going back. Good, then release the trunk, walk the hands even closer to you. Make your feet parallel. Drop the trunk into a standing forward fold. And if you need to bend your knees here a little or a lot, do so. Good. For the ones who are able to follow this cue, see if you can lift your upper thighs towards your pelvis and send your upper inner thighs back. The more you tone your abdomen, the more you can let the torso drop. And then bring your hands to your hips, elbows point up, spread your toes and push through the four corners of your feet. And then come halfway up. It looks like a tabletop. Draw that navel up, okay? Send the elbows up, inner thighs back, push through the heels and come all the way up. Good, we are up in a standing position. Keep your feet wide like they are, kind of like touching the edges of the mat. You can put your hands onto your hips. And now we're going to work the legs a little different by bending the right knee. My torso stays facing forward, okay? And then coming back to center. And then I'm bending over to the left. So the left knee bends, coming back to center, okay? So simple, we do that, we add four more. Right and left, right and left. Right and left. One more. Right and left. Beautiful. Now I'm going to do a similar movement, but we add a little bit of the hips. So I'm turning also with my hips side to side for one, for two, three, four, last one, and five. Good. Okay, back to center. Keep those feet as they are. Now tone the legs. Push through the heels. Fire your glutes. Lift your kneecaps and your thighs towards the pelvis. Inhale, send the arms up overhead. Interlace fingers and send your index to point up towards the skies. After you do that, I want you to take your tailbone and send it down towards the floor. Lift the top of your pelvis up and draw your abdomen back, okay? Keep all of that. Reach up through the arms. And if you can, instead of popping the ribs out, bring them in a little bit towards your heart, okay? Keep all of that. Push through the feet, inhale, and exhale, come over to the right. Breathing here, keeping the chest facing forward. We push the floor, we come back. Good, again, re-extend through the sides of the body, send the tailbone down, draw the pelvic floor up and the front ribs in. Inhale and exhale, go over to the left. Once you get to the left side, keep the chest facing forward, fire the glutes. Back to center, inhaling. Exhaling, we release. Good, shake it a little. And walk towards the top of your mat. We'll go from here, feet together. Fire those legs again and the glutes. Tone the abdomen. We go from here, inhaling, sending arms up overhead. With the exhale, we sit into Utkatasana, or a chair pose, we call it. So in this one, again, we are working the legs as we bring the inner thighs towards one another. glutes heavy, sitting bones heavy. Draw the navel in and then open the chest. Take a nice breath in, nice breath out. Then inhale, go up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, bring your hands down, walk your right leg back into a lunging position. Then float the left leg back into a plank. Push through the legs. Come down. Press through the tops of the feet. Lengthen the sides of your body. Open the chest. Exhale, dropping the torso down. And then we tuck the toes and we go up to down dog. Good. From down dog, feet together. Draw the front ribs in. Lift your heels over the toes and the right leg up and back. Bend the right knee, bringing the knee to the chest. We are in a plank pose. We're going to twist that right knee over to the left, then back to center, then bring the right foot forward in between the hands. Tone the inner legs, lift up, tuck your right hip in, and as you lift through the sides of your body, keep all of that. Bring your right hand to your right hip and lean over to your right. We are opening up that left hip flexor, stretching that front leg on the left and flexing in the front. Go back to center, then keep that left arm as it is, put the right hand behind you to the left side, meaning your thigh, your glute, your hip, and then reach up and go back. Good. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, down dog. One full breath here. Give yourself a moment to release. And then we switch sides. Heels over the toes. Draw the belly in. Left leg goes up. Bend the left knee. Bring the knee to the chest. Left foot comes forward in between the hands. Tone the inner legs. Push through the back heel. When you're ready, come up. Good. Lift the front of your pelvis and drop the back knee a little so you can reach up and have the torso more vertical. Let's put that left hand to the left hip, reaching up through the right, leaning over to the left. Chest facing forward. Then we come back and that left hand now goes towards the right, to the thigh, to the hip, the glute, anywhere, reaching up and lifting through the heart. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, sorry, left arm up. Exhale, we go back to down dog. Inhaling, we take plank. One more time. Exhaling, coming down. This time we add a little more. Extend through the legs. Push the pubic bone down. Send your arms out like a T letter. Turn your palms to face up. And then bring those hands behind you until you interlace your fingers. Then bring the elbows towards one another. Extend those arms behind you, bringing the shoulder blades down your back. Good, let's keep pressing with the pubic bone and the belly down. Lift the chin of the chest, tone your glutes and see if you can lift your legs and your arms going back. One more breath. Then exhale, release. Push back and we take a child's pose here to give ourselves a little break. Taking a few breaths. Use your in-breaths and out-breaths to return to a rhythm that helps you slow down a little and sense what we did so far in the practice. Good, one more. And then we slowly walk our hands back towards the legs. We are going to cross the shins one in front of the other, just to transition to bring the legs in front. And we're going to switch here. Okay, so now right leg You're going to bend that right knee and then send the right shin over to the left. So the right thigh is down, it's off the hip, and the shin is like it's going towards the diagonal to the left. The foot is outside my hip, okay? Then if you can, you're going to take that left leg over the right one to the right. And the foot, you can see it's like pressing down onto the floor, sitting tall. If you feel like you're very lopsided, then you add a pillow or a blanket underneath the side that you're falling over to. That will help you balance the seat, okay? We want pelvis more in a neutral position. Sitting tall from here, we're going to send the left arm behind. We inhale, right arm up. And with the exhale, bring the chest and the belly over to the left and see if you can hook your elbow into the left leg. And then use that to press the leg and the elbow into one another and turn a little bit more to your left. As you do that, and you're opening the chest to the left, reach up through the spine and bring the left shoulder blade a little bit more into your spine. If you can, you turn the chin over to the left. Then we inhale, we return to center and do the pretzel of the legs, and we switch it. So now bending the left knee, we send that left foot over to the right side, sitting tall, cross the right leg over to the left, and we find that seat again. If it feels very uneven, add some padding so you can help. And then we find again that verticality through the spine, softening the shoulders. Right arm is the one that is going back this time, opening the chest that way. Left arm, inhale, send it up. With the exhale, belly chest over to the right, and you hook the elbow and the knee into one another or the leg. If this is not possible, you can just use your arm to hold the leg into you, okay? And you do it that way. As you press or you pull into you or you press leg and arm into one another, that is a helper or a tool to elevate the spine and turn it a little more to the right. And if it's possible for you, the right shoulder blade moves into your spine a little more, okay? Reach up through the crown of the head and then bring the chin over to your right. One more breath. And then we slowly come back to center and release, extend the legs and wiggle a little. Okay, bring a block if you have or some kind of support that you can use. We're going to do two different things where we're going to use the block. So we're going to come onto our backs. Your feet are a little wider than your sitting bones, and you're going to choose if you want the block to be completely flat, medium size or medium height, sorry, or the tallest of the positions, okay? We are going to use it to support a bridge pose, and the height that you choose, of course, it's gonna give you how high you're gonna go, and you need to also check if your pelvis and your lower back are okay holding that height, right? So for me, I know that the tallest of the settings works in my body. I'm going to be pressing through the feet firmly, toning the backs of the legs and the glutes. And as I lift my pelvis, I'm going to just slide or place that block right in the place where my sacrum and my tailbone connect, which is the very end, right, of the spine. Like I said, for me, this setup works because my body is able to go that height of the block. You can absolutely do it in the flat or the medium, right, of the positions. Make sure that your feet are touching down. Then you wiggle the shoulder blades into one another to give yourself more space in the chest. You can extend the arms or interlace the fingers passing your block, or even hold the sides of your mat if you want, and use it as a helper to keep opening the chest and have that pelvis supported. I'm using the block because we are going to then set the legs up, right? So we want that support to flow the legs. So first take a nice breath in and out here. And then make sure that you have the support to feel stable and not that like you're gonna fall, to send one leg slowly up towards the ceiling or the skies. And if you feel like you can hold these with a certain stability that you're not gonna fall, then you add second leg. Keep opening the chest. Keep pressing with the back of your head into your mat. And in the inner legs are really toned, right? My legs, they are not sleepy at all. I'm pushing through the heels, through the balls of my feet. My toes are active. It's almost like if I want to send all of the energy of my legs up and push into the ceiling, okay? One more breath. Good. Then slowly bend your knees. Bring the feet down. You can do one at a time until you find your ground again. Good. Keep the legs active, the glutes fired up as you lift your pelvis a little higher so you can grab the block and take it out of the way. And then very gently, we return one vertebra at a time, we touch down. Okay, don't do anything yet. Take a nice breath in and out. Then send your arms into a cactus shape and take a few windshield wipers with the legs going side to side. Nice. A few of these will undo a little bit of the effort that we just did. Good. Okay. And then from here, we are going to take a happy baby pose. So with the hands, you're holding your feet unless you prefer to use a belt, or you can also grab your shins or your knees, okay? What we are doing here is to try to lengthen the spine by pressing even into the end of the spine down. And with the feet, you're pushing into the hands and the hands into the feet to bring the knees down. We are again working the legs here a lot, okay? A lot of flexion for the hips, a lot of toning there. Bring the lower abdomen down into your back. Good. And if you want, you can rock a little bit side to side or just stay centered. One more breath, just checking that we still have time. Good. Then very slowly, we will release the feet and make our way into a diamond shape for the legs. So the soles of the feet are touching, the knees are wide. Bring your hands, your palms to rest on your pelvis or the lower abdomen area, just to sense the breath moving into that space. You don't need to push your legs down or anything like that. Just rest them in this way for a few moments. Relax the shoulders. Invite your head to drop a little more and soften the skin in your face, as you also invite your jawline to become a little heavier than usual. Then with the hands, we will bring the legs into one another, extending both towards the top of the mat. And then from there, just let the feet drop and the legs become heavy to the sides, and rest the arms to the sides. We have like 1 minute here. So with this idea that we already started in the shape before of dropping the head, relaxing the shoulders, try and soften the weight down into your trunk, your pelvic area, your leg bones, and soften the skin that wraps your bones so you can really receive the benefit of this little practice that we just did. It's like the body is taking in all of the work for these last few moments. Beautiful. Then if you want, slowly you can bend your knees, placing the feet on your mat. You can use one arm overhead to roll over to the side and press up towards a seat. Bringing the palms together in gratitude, we connect them to the heart center. We sit tall, maybe you're crossing your sheets, cross-leg position, or just where you are. Take a moment just to notice how you feel. Thank you everyone for joining this session today in legs. I hope to see you next week again. Namaste everyone. Have a super good weekend. Thank you.